other than that, it was a big weekend in terms of wrestling. I mean, I thought it was going to be a slow weekend, but whenever there's an open weekend, you know, these wrestling companies try to fucking shove something in there. So this was in New Japan. This was New Japan's big weekend. They had 2 big pay-per-views, back-to-back days, Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. So they were kind of not even 24 hours apart, I don't think. Like, you know, Wrestle Dynasty started, I think, 12 hours after Wrestle Kingdom started. And commentators were like, yeah, everybody go get some coffee or whatever energy drink you need to get through this, because goddamn, it was fucking long. Wrestle Dynasty was a 5-hour plus show after the night before.
What the fuck,
They had already had a show. It was tough.
Fuck, man.
I don't know. I didn't watch all of it in like, I wasn't focused, but I did have it on for a lot of it. So for the purposes of our show, since we discussed AEW, and there was a lot of AEW related stuff, I'm not going to cover all the New Japan stuff on here because I haven't really been following it, so I don't really know what's going on with a lot of that. But anything that's related to AEW, we can just read through the results and see what happened, and let's see if we have any thoughts about it. So Wrestle Kingdom, that was the first night, and that was a New Japan show, like, exclusively. So there wasn't much AEW on there. I have the results on here if you guys need to see what happened. I think the one thing that kind of related to AEW on the first night was this one right here, if you guys can see.
Yeah.
It's Konosuke Takeshita won a match against Shingo Takagi to win what they call the Never Openweight Championship. And even on Collision, they did. It's just a championship. I don't know. It's just a title. But yeah, so it was a dual title match. It was title for title. The AEW International title was also on the line. So sure. Takeshita retained, and he also won another title. So he has 2 belts now. And then I think the other interesting thing was that Zack Sabre Jr. defended the IWGP World Heavyweight title on the first night, and then he also was main event for the second night too. So 2 nights in a row he defended the IWGP Championship. So let me see. Let's go to Wrestle Dynasty. So that's all I'll mention from Wrestle Kingdom. All right, but Wrestle Dynasty was more. This was they called it a New Japan and AEW dual promotion, right? And I think they also said it was a Ring of Honor and a CMLL show, so I don't really know. But anyways, let's go through some of the results, because this was this had a lot of AEW stuff. So the Women's International Cup 4-Way, which they had like all these qualifiers for on AEW television, and it didn't even make the actual show for Wrestle Dynasty. It was on the pre-show. So some people we know were there. Willow and Athena, the Ring of Honor champion, was there, and Willow was there. Do we have pictures of this? Do we have pictures? This is this girl's name is Momo Watanabe. Momo Watanabe. So this is the girl that ended up winning. I guess she represented Stardom, right? Robert, do you know this girl at all?
I don't know who that is. No.
There's Willow. There's Persephone, I guess, representing CMLL. This is
Who was that? Let's talk more about this lady.
Persephone.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, she was pretty good looking. I mean, but this was won by.
You got any more pictures of her?
Persephone? No, I don't. But anyways,
I lost my interest then.
What's this girl's name? Momo Wamatume or whatever? Watanabe. There you go. So she's the one who ended up winning. And Vlad, you know how you say, oh, they have these fair matches in Japan? No, this girl, Momo Watanabe, had this girl, a valet with her, and she helped her cheat. And while her valet was, distracting the ref, she had a baseball bat, and she clocked Athena with it, which was weird because Athena is a heel. Yeah, that was a pretty decent
Yeah.
bat shot. I shot with a bat, but yeah. So there you go. I don't know anything about this girl, but she had someone who helped her cheat.
Sure. Good
There you go. How about Mercedes and Mina Shirakawa? That was a match.
Oh, okay. I know these two.
I would have wanted to watch this.
Yeah, I don't have much highlights from it, but I just have pictures just to show what they look like. But Mercedes ended up winning, and I think Mina had some championship from.
I like Mercedes' cool pink hair there. Actually looks pretty solid.
No, she looked cool. She did some cosplay thing. I don't know what she's supposed to be, but
well, I don't know. I don't know what. Okay.
It was a tough loss for Mina Shirakawa.
No, she took it hard.
She took it hard. Yeah, it was tough. But she lost the title, so I guess what's her name? Mercedes has 3 belts now. I don't know what the hell.
Oh Lord.
What's her title? What her title is? I think it's the. Hold on, let me see.
Something from Stardom, right? It's a Stardom title.
It was from the undisputed British Women's Championship.
British, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she's also the strong women's champ. She currently was that before the strong women's.
Yeah, Mercedes was the New Japan Strong Women's Champion and
sure he was
the TBS champion. So now she has a 3rd belt.
How did the British get involved in this mess?
I don't know.
There's a Japanese wrestler and an American wrestler, and the British title is involved. Fantastic. You gotta love it. You gotta love this. I can't even say AEW because it's not their fault completely. This is also a New Japan thing, but okay.
All right, how about some more AEW people?
Sure.
Takeshita versus, there's Don Callis.
So Takeshita on both nights, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, and he faced off against the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii. And this was for...
Oh, God damn it, man.
But he ended up keeping both titles, so he won. I'm not going to show any highlights from that.
I don't think there were any, but that's fine.
The Young Bucks were in a 4-way with
they were involved?
the United Empire and Naito and some other guy. I don't know. Robert's favorite wrestler.
I have no idea who that is.
That's his tag team. That's Naito's tag team partner.
Sure it is.
But there's Naito. But anyways, long story short, the Young Bucks, these 2 badass guys from Rancho Cucamonga, they ended up winning the IWGP Tag Team Championships.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
They escaped from AEW from the Death Riders, and they went to Japan somehow. I don't know how the hell they.
Can they stay there? That's my only. Now maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they could stay there in Japan for the next couple of years.
I don't know. Our boy Jack Perry.
Oh.
He had a match.
God damn it.
Against who is this? He fought against.
I don't know.
Yota Tsuji. I don't know what this is, but
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who this is, but it's for a title, some title over there. Jack Perry didn't win; he lost. So
sounds about right.
Other people on the card were Brody King and Claudio Castagnoli, but I'm not going to cover their matches. But the one I will talk about is Gabe Kidd. I don't know if you saw any of this, Robert. Did you see any of Gabe Kidd's match?
I didn't. No, I didn't watch anything from Wrestle Dynasty. No.
Well, here's our boy Kenny Omega, baby. This was his return match. It was a brutal match. I mean, these guys seem to have had some kind of feud or something where they really fucking hated each other. Like, it was pretty bloody. It was a long match. It was like hard fought. I mean, here's Kenny going through a table. I guess in his first match back. But he didn't really take all the damage. From what I saw, this was one of the matches I watched actually, and from what I saw, Gabe Kidd took a lot of the bumps. He did a lot of the hard work because Kenny's like, this is his first match back. But he did do an over the top rope dive. So here's our beautiful over the top rope dive from Kenny Omega, one of the best. One of the best at doing that. I will admit that. It's beautiful when he does that. But
artistic.
Kenny Omega with the win. Both guys dead, completely dead afterwards. So there you go. Kenny Omega is back, and he's supposed. Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Why is he crying?
Because it's beautiful to see Kenny Omega.
fuck is happening in this company? Why is he crying? He's not. Nobody died.
Oh, well, he's back from his diverticulitis.
Oh, these are happy tears. These are happy tears.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, shit. Nobody. We thought Kenny Omega was gonna die. Thank God we're seeing him back in the Tokyo Dome.
Well, that's true. We didn't know if he was gonna wrestle again. That part's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the last thing I guess I'll quickly mention is, like I said before, we mentioned Ricochet and his heel turn on Swerve Strickland, but here he was headlining the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Dynasty against Zack Sabre Jr., who beat him with, I gotta say, I don't really like Zack Sabre Jr.'s style of wrestling. I don't even think it looks realistic. Like all the grappling and stuff on the floor, like it doesn't look like he's really trying to hold the guy down. They look like they're letting them hold them. So Ricochet ended up tapping out to some submission move, and Zack Sabre Jr. ended up winning, defending his title on both nights of this New Japan extravaganza, I guess. And then at the end, he put over New Japan. There was a lot of New Japan pride. Everyone was like kind of fighting for the company they represented. So he put over New Japan, and the AEW guys were there to fight for AEW and all that. But in the end, it was a celebration of wrestling. So it was kind of a friendly competition, is how I would describe it. But okay, so there's my quick summary of Wrestle Dynasty. Do you guys have any comments on this card? I guess I will.
Yeah.
I will give it to Robert since he's more in tune with what's going on with New Japan and everything. Any comments on Wrestle Dynasty?
Couple things. I do like Brody King. I don't know if I've ever said that in any of the previous episodes. I kind of am a fan of him. So I know that he went up against David Finlay. Now, I haven't really kept up with New Japan in a long time, or the Bullet Club, but the last time I checked, which was more than a year ago, David Finlay was the leader of the Bullet Club. I don't know if he still is, or I don't know if the Bullet Club's still around, but I'm glad if Brody King went up against someone. At least it was someone that's not like some random dude I've never heard of. At least I know who David Finlay is, so that's cool. Now, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet on paper sounds like a matchup I'd probably have fun watching, but I have a problem with just the fact that that match was even booked.
Because, it was weird.
Because I do like Ricochet's his segment on Dynamite, but he hasn't really been positioned as a top guy in AEW, and he's going up against the champion of New Japan. How? I thought
strange.
I would think that if you're gonna if this is like the New Japan's version of Forbidden Door, right? You would think that they would pit the New Japan champion against, if not the champion of AEW, someone that's at least on the level of, that's considered a top guy in AEW. I don't think Ricochet is there. So that the booking of that matchup in particular is odd to me. And I'm not trying to throw shade at Ricochet. I think I would have enjoyed watching this matchup. The booking, it doesn't make sense.
Okay. I feel you there. Honestly, especially amid his sort of like him working this new heel persona in AEW, it just kind of seemed like it didn't really fit the situation. I don't know. Right. To me, I guess it seemed kind of like a glorified house show. They just got whatever names they could get and kind of threw them into this mosh posh of a show. Vlad, do you want to make any comments about the Wrestle Dynasty show and how it related to, how they really fucking played it up on the AEW shows and everything? And, did you have any interest in, I guess you didn't watch any of it, but, you didn't really have any interest in watching it. Whatever comments you want to make as a guy who watches AEW and how they threw this at us.
Yeah. I mean, you said it was like 5 hours long or 5.5 hours long. Plus, there was a pre-show.
That was just. Well, no. With the pre-show, it was like 5.5 hours or something. And then there was a show the day before, Wrestle Kingdom, so it was 2 days. But
and how long was Wrestle Kingdom? And was that
probably the same shit, 5 hours or something?
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
That one I didn't know.
So they did 10 hours of wrestling within a 12-hour. Time. Right.
And every show
here we are complaining about WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was a lot of wrestling.
You continue to watch this at all because look. Obviously, I don't follow Japanese wrestling. I don't know what's going on in New Japan. But even the guys from AEW, I would not really want to see at all. And I don't think you really have to worry about how this affects Ricochet specifically because I don't think a lot of people watch this pay-per-view. I mean, maybe the true diehards that watch Japanese and AEW, but there's not that many of them. There's got to be like maybe only 100 to 200,000 people that watch both companies and would be like, oh, I can't believe Ricochet with what they're doing with his character actually fought for the championship and he lost, obviously, or whatever. No, I don't think anybody's going to mention that because this is such a hosh-mosh review that
Hodgepodge.
Yeah, whatever you said. It's like, I don't know. I don't think it really matters.
I will say the Kenny Omega match was interesting because it was a good match. And the Mercedes versus Mina Shirakawa match was also a pretty solid match compared to what we get from Mercedes and AEW. I thought it was pretty decent in comparison. The other stuff, I don't know. Oh, what's his name? No, I think I'm thinking of Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, forget it. Sorry. Tanahashi, your boy Tanahashi had a pretty good match the night before, but this is Wrestle Dynasty. Forget that. All right then, Vlad. So this was a waste of time for you.
I would say. Well, if I had to watch it, it would be even an incredibly waste of time.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting is that a lot of people who cover wrestling and podcasters that here in America who cover AEW and WWE, they seem like they felt a pressure or a need to cover this show as well, just because they talk about it on AEW. They've been fucking promoting these matches for fucking weeks, if not months. So a lot of just regular podcasters who do AEW were all of a sudden doing watch-alongs with this and New Japan and everything. So it was interesting that it kind of got into the limelight and into the mainstream, at least for this weekend. I don't really know what people thought of it. I don't know if people were giving it good reviews or anything. I think some of it warranted a good review, like the Kenny Omega match, for example, but it was also really fucking long. So I don't know. I think that's basically all the time I want to give to it, unless anybody has any more.
I'll just say one last thing. For the Kenny Omega thing, I mean, his first match back should have been in AEW. I don't understand how it's in New Japan, but okay, I'll leave it at that. That's their choice. I
don't understand how they had such a fucking blood feud. Like, these fools fucking hated each other, and all of this guy Gabe Kidd's friends were there to try to fucking help him in this match. It seemed like a no DQ match too, so there was like all kinds of interference and chairs and everything. So I don't know how they had this like fucking blood feud match under our noses where, I follow wrestling. If there was something going on with Kenny Omega somewhere where he has this incredible feud going on with someone, I feel like I should have heard about it, but I didn't hear anything about it. But okay. Moving along.
Cool.
Next topic of the day. So I guess we're finally done with AEW / New Japan for the day.